Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, April 18th, and we just got to the studio, went for a big walk this morning, and I am feeling good. I don't get a lot of exercise in. Yoga doesn't seem to be happening this quarter at Icon, probably because they are officially in the new building, and there's probably just a ton going on. We're gonna have a short day in the studio because our presence has been requested by none other than Becca. We've been flowing through these units pretty well. We're learning a lot each week, but I feel like we're in flow. Things are just progressing and coming along very nicely. So we're gonna get the vlog all freaking ready to get uploaded. We're gonna jump into Sunday Fun Day, and then we're gonna take off and enjoy the day, because I don't know where you live, but around here it's been about 20 degrees Celsius, which is a beautifully warm temperature. It's the start of a new vlog week. We are moving on to level 3, unit 3 at Icon Collective, and I could not be more freaking stoked. I literally don't even know what's to come. Probably some more advanced synthesis stuff. I am loving this level so far. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Fun Day. Sunday Fun Day is my vlog segment where I go over my work for the week. Starting my week off on Sunday just sets me up for success. And you know the old saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. Here we are, level 3, unit 3. B minor and D major wavetables and physical modeling, raw sample tuning. Let's get into it. All right, so looks like we are starting off with keys. In this lesson, you will work on the B minor and D major scales on the keyboard. Over to the left here, keys classes for this week are Keys video, review the minor and major scale patterns. The B minor scale, the D major scale, review the minor and major chord qualities, the chords of B minor and D major, and then the class notes on B minor and D major, followed by a keys playing assignment on exactly that. Moving on, we go to our synthesis classes, wavetable and physical modeling synthesis. In this next synthesis lesson, we'll be exploring synthesis techniques using wavetables and physical modeling. Wave synthesis in particular is very widely used to create many of the best known synth sounds and effects in contemporary dance music. All right, over to the left. Synthesis classes are wavetables, creating wavetables, warp modes, physical modeling in Ableton, and then the class notes on wavetables and physical modeling synthesis, followed by a physical modeling synthesis project. And then we round out synthesis with another discussion, which is basically just posting the project and then doing a little discussion about it. Last up for this week, we have ear training, raw sampling. Ear training classes are recording found sounds, pitch recognition in your samples, sample mapping, and then the class notes on raw sampling, followed by a raw sample tuning project, and then a discussion on raw sample tuning. I'm really excited about these classes. Sample tuning is something that I have done pretty well. The way that I do it is I just use the spectrum and I look for where the peaks are, and if the majority of those peaks are in key with the scale that I'm using, then for all intents and purposes, that sample is in key. So this is the whole reason I'm at Icon, is I guarantee you there are going to be nuggets of information in here that allow me to take my current knowledge to the next level. Quite a bit jam-packed into this week, but I'm looking forward to it. That is it for Sunday Fun Day today. Happy Monday, April 18th, everybody. We just got to the studio. We're feeling fired up this morning. We are going to start on the lessons straight away, dive straight into Unit 3. I'm feeling good. We got more synthesis coming. We got more ear training videos. I sincerely hope that you had a good weekend and that the start to your week is going well. Don't have a lot to say this morning, to be honest. I am just feeling really good, and I'm so excited to get to work on Unit 3. Welcome back to another episode of Mental Health Mondays. Here we are in the Zen corner of the studio, sitting on my nice couch, and today I wanted to talk about making connections, creating connections, networking, that sort of thing. Now, if you've seen my Paul Van Dyk collaboration story, you know that entire situation was a result of some pretty interesting networking mixed with a little bit of luck. I mean, you really need things to kind of line up in a way that is pretty well impossible to control. So I think it's learning how to create the possibility of these kinds of situations happening. And so I have talked about this book a couple times, and that book would be called The Third Door by Alex Banayan. This book is all about seeking opportunities. There's a couple of things that I wanted to bring up, and this I think will really help other producers who are trying to network, trying to find people to connect with, trying to see if there's management out there, if they could get signed to labels, things like that. And I've been to a lot of Q&As at Icon, and the common thread of people finding the success that they wanted, getting signed to management, to publishing, to labels, is a very similar vibe to my Paul Van Dyk story. Like, the organicness that occurred is what got them to where they are. I think it's just literally impossible to force these kinds of relationships. Like, one of the things I also wanted to bring up is some stuff that I've done, just trying to network, and the vibe just isn't there, but I am ignorant to it because I'm trying so hard to make a connection, because I do want to make a connection. I want to network with people and build relationships. So most of the time my motives are true to that, but that doesn't mean it's going to be reciprocated from the other person. And so for me, at least, what ends up happening is I put a lot more of an emotional investment into certain people, and when that's not reciprocated because of the story I've built up in my own head, I feel let down because I had too high of expectations of someone who, it just wasn't in their perception. It wasn't in their reality. To them, the vibe really wasn't there. And has really nothing to do with me at all. That's just where they're at, and that's okay. If I'm totally honest, I've experienced this a lot of times, and I think it's kind of part of the trial and error until you really find your people. I think you got to go through these awkward situations, these awkward phases, these, cold messaging people because you think you have this great idea, and you know that if you just work with them or you just released on their label, it could help take things to the next level for you, and they're kind of just it's okay, not bad, probably not for us though. And then you're kind of just you gotta be kidding me, you know how much work I put into this? And so I guess my message with this is that really more so, if you could provide value in some way to these other people with no expectations of anything in return, that is, I think, the best way you can network. One thing that I heard from someone I follow, he said it's okay to have multiple motives, but if you're honest with yourself and your only motive is to get something from that person, then it's probably not gonna work out. They're gonna sense that, you're not gonna come off genuine, and then because you were trying to get something, you're gonna feel let down. Whereas if you genuinely are trying to help someone, then you can't lose. Like my example that I gave, I'm not the best at this. I still get let down quite a bit, but I'm aware of it and I'm working on it, because as I've said, from what I've seen in the Q&As and from the artists from Icon that are making it, is that they had these chance encounters, and then through those situations unfolded the team that they have now, their manager that they found. Trust the process, but trust the process so long as you're working hard. Whatever it looks like for you, to work as hard as you can, trusting the process, because you're doing your best. That's my message, and I'm basically just passing that message from a lot of these Q&As I've heard, from a lot of the experiences of these artists who have gone through it, and I'm taking that to heart this week, and I hope you take it easier on yourself if these are things that are worrying you. And that'll be it this week for Mental Health Mondays. It is not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, April 21st. So let me just say this. I got to the studio yesterday and pretty well right away we had the Apple event. Immediately following that, counseling. Honestly, we didn't do anything too intense at counseling, but I just felt off. And in all honesty, vlogging was kind of the last thing on my mind. That being said, we did get some good work done, and we are continuing on with our adventure to remix classics in our new fun little melodic techno style. Tuesdays are kind of our chill day. We got therapy, you know, that's all good. Most of the time, like, there's not usually Q&As on Tuesdays. They're mostly Wednesday, Thursdays. And yeah, we just chilled out most of the day, to be honest. Sometimes like the aftermath of a situation that you talk about in therapy, and it's almost like the come down from a situation. It's almost like, ugh, you know, it's like the time to relax is now, and like the weight is off the shoulders. And so yeah, just from some stuff going on in life, that's kind of how I felt yesterday after kind of that big dump in the therapy session, big emotional kind of upheaval. We're feeling better today, and that's what matters most. Today is a new day. And so yeah, Monday, Tuesday, we pretty well polished off all of this week's classes. Now we just have to concentrate on the projects, and I'm really psyched about these projects. I'll probably show you a bit of some of them, especially on Future Friday coming up in the next vlog. I sincerely hope you're having a good week. If you're not, reach out. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to connect with more people who are watching these videos. All right, let's eat our breakfast and get to work. Welcome back to another episode of WIP Wednesdays. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and as I explained last week, we are remixing a bunch of classics in the newer melodic techno sound. So let's break this down by section. Let's get the bass and the kick going so we can feel the groove. See if you can guess the song just based on this. So not as in your face of a techno drone like we had last time. A lot simpler. And these notes overlap here. That's why we don't get that wow there. Which kind of makes for a cool effect to only hear it twice. All right, let's get the hat loop going. Let's get the melody popping. Get the pads going. Some chords. So pretty laid back this time, not as in your face, a lot more progressive, and I'm feeling it. I think this is just a simple rendition, and if you haven't guessed it, of Avicii's Levels, but we transcribed it down to a minor key. So it's got a bit of a sadder feel, got a bit of a sadder vibe going on, especially in that lead melody, this one here. So this is going to be a fun series because, as I mentioned last time, I got about 8 or so classics that I want to turn into this style. I'm super excited about this. I'll probably just give the entire remix pack away when I'm done, and we're going to have fun with it. We're going to have fun with this new style. We're going to have fun with getting out of our comfort zone and trying to create something like this that we've never really done before. And that'll be it for a short and sweet WIP Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. It is not Tuesday. It is Wednesday. It is not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, April 21st. So, let me just say this. I got to the studio yesterday, and pretty well right away, we had the Apple event. immediately following that, counseling. Honestly, we didn't do anything. Honestly, we didn't do anything too intense at counseling, but I just felt off. And in all honesty, vlogging was kind of the last thing on my mind. That being said, we did get some good work done, and we are continuing on with our adventure to remix classics in our new, fun little melodic techno style. So, Tuesdays are kind of our chill day. We got therapy, that's all good. But most of the time, like, there's not usually Q&As on Tuesdays. They're mostly Wednesday, Thursdays. And yeah, we just chilled out most of the day, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes therapy, sometimes like the aftermath of a situation that you talk about in therapy, and once like the dust has settled and like and it's almost like the come down from a situation can almost be like it's almost like, oh, it's like the time to relax is now, and like the weight is off the shoulders. And so yeah, just from some stuff going on in life, that's kind of how I felt yesterday after kind of that big dump in the therapy session, big emotional kind of upheaval, big emotional kind of upheaval. And so yeah, enough about that. We're not going to dwell on the fact that we did not vlog yesterday. We didn't miss a vlog segment. We did some work. We're feeling better today, and that's what matters most. Today is a new day, and we actually went to the grocery store to buy bagels to actually make our lunch. We actually went to the grocery store to buy bagels and yogurt to actually make a lunch and to actually make a breakfast rather than buying out. Definitely been wanting to support the local businesses more, but now I've kind of fallen into this habit again, and so I'm going to try to break that habit because it's just too expensive and I can't be doing stuff like that. So it also feels good to actually take the time to do these things for myself, make my lunches, make my breakfasts. Sure. So yeah, exercising a little more self-care for the remainder of the week. And yeah, today we are going to... So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, we pretty well polished off all of this week's classes. Now we just have to concentrate on the projects. And I'm really psyched about these projects. I'll probably show you a bit of some of them, especially on Future Friday coming up in the next vlog. Yeah, but today being Wednesday, of course. Yeah, so what we have coming up is basically a continuation of last week's sample-based synthesis. And we learned a couple really cool things that'll add on to some of the stuff I went over last week. I'm really, really, really excited to show you. We're taking what we learned to the next level. But as I said, it is Wednesday, which means WIP Wednesday is coming right up. I sincerely hope you're having a good week. If you're not, reach out. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'd love to connect with more people who are watching these videos. All right, let's get to work. All right, let's eat our breakfast and get to work.